We obviously are going to work on the finances with people and forecasting and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. What beneficial things do you talk to clients on a daily basis about that we can help them with?
It can be, honestly, Michael, anything under the sun. We'll look at their numbers and the numbers tell a story themselves. So when I'm in a meeting with a client, I will always pull up the numbers first, because as a qualified accountant, that's my background. And to me, they're not just numbers on a page. I'm going through them line by line sometimes, get into the minuscule of why something is how it appears. And that in itself opens up opportunities for the client to tell me things I didn't know by using the numbers as a springboard. So things that have come out in the wash, extraction of money, the bank is down, for example, they're taking too much out. Why are you taking too much out? I need it to live off. Okay. We need to look at if that is sustainable, and can the business keep that going for you, or do we need to look at alternative extraction methods? Funding, when you need money for new assets, let's say capitalisation, we might need to look at when the best time in the year is for that, for corporation tax relief, but also we can provide documentation for the required parties where needed. Other things which clients might not know we can help with, difference between funding for assets such as cars. We've got hire purchase, we've got leasing. There's different tax implications for all of that.
We've also spoken a lot about the different finance sides, that sort of thing. If you had to say 3 non-negotiables that every business has to have within their finance strategy, what would you say those 3 things are?
Yeah, number 1, a robust bookkeeping system on a cloud-based software, which means internet-based, and you can go on into the books. The accountant can at the same time, and you can work together and resolve any issues. And it also means, as a business owner, you can jump in at any time and look at your numbers.
This is the likes of Xero's, Free Agents, QuickBooks, Zoho, that sort of thing.
Yeah, if you're still on a big red book, as I know a lot of business owners are, that's just not going to cut it in our day and age now. So that would be step 1.
Yeah.
From there, step 2 would be getting a budget in place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's knowing your outgoings and your incomings, and looking forward, because I think there's an understanding, or the accounting industry as a whole in times past has always been looking backwards.
Yes. Yeah.
Business owners can tell you they'll go to an accountant's meeting and they'll be talking about figures 12 months ago. And is that useful? You're a business owner, Michael.
No, absolutely not.
No.
I don't know where I've been. Don't look in the rear view. I want to know where I'm going and that sort of thing. And, I think the budget's so important, because the amount of people I see who come in who haven't got a budget in place.
Yeah.
And I just ask them the question, when you go to Sainsbury's on a Saturday, do you just keep filling your trolley, and when the person scans it through, do you just say, all right, stop there, I've spent all my money now? Yeah. You don't. You go with a budget in your head and a list of what you want to spend, your income, your outgoings, that sort of thing. Exactly. So I think that is just so important that an activity we have in our day-to-day lives, we're not using in a business environment.
No. And you've just reminded me, the last one I want to talk about is cash flow.
Yes.
And just off what you've just said about using your personal life to influence your business life, if I said to you, your household bills, do you know when they're paid each month?
We've got a spreadsheet in our house. We know different months if we've got holiday payments or childcare payments, that sort of thing.
Fantastic. So what you're describing is cash flow. You know what's going in, when it's expected to go in, and when it's going to go out. So feeding on from the budget, like I say, step 3 is cash flow. And I think if you're going to run a business and you want it to grow and you want it to work for you, then you need to be, in charge of the lifeblood of your business.
And that cash flow literally directly links into our business plan.
It does.
Because if we don't know what we can spend on marketing, what we can spend on new equipment, gaining new clients, we're completely lost, aren't we?
Having that initial plan directs everything.
Yeah.
And every year I'd recommend to my clients to revisit the plan. And things change, evolve over time. And it's a working document, living document that we tailor and refine as the business grows.
So I completely agree. It's a working document. I completely agree. Stick to the plan, because the fact is, if we choose something that's not on that plan, it's a bit like not following your values, your vision, your mission statement. It doesn't work for that business, and it's one surefire way for us to go bust.